for the segue. That means that we're going to open with a magic trick. And this is what I did on Saturday.
Okay.
I think Harold was the only one there on Saturday.
No, last Saturday, not this Saturday.
Oh, okay. So nobody was there. So let me show you. I have a deck of cards.
Okay.
I also have a new webcam, so you should be able to see me very well.
Yeah,
Jim,
you got a great dark blue shirt there.
Jim, you're the new person on the block. I'm going to go down the cards, and you say stop at any time.
Okay.
As I go down the cards, say stop, Jim.
Stop.
You got to be fast.
Stop.
I didn't do anything.
That's right.
Okay.
Stop.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay. We're going to take, now I'm going to turn away, but I'm going to show you the card you stopped me at. Okay? You all see that?
No. Okay, center it. Move it to your left. Okay, got it.
Perfect. Everybody got it?
Yep.
You all got it? Okay.
That's right.
Now, cut the cards, snap my fingers, and your card is gone, Jim. I got to get used to the centering here. And if you count the cards, not only is your card gone, but we're one short on the deck.
All right.
We actually only have 51 cards now. Do you see your card, Jim?
Not yet.
No, because it's gone.
All right.
Gone. Isn't that incredible?
That's wonderful. Where is it?
Let me.
I was going to say, is it in your mask?
Is that your card, Jim?
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. I didn't need a mask. But
oh, it's the guy from Homeland.
I opened with this magic trick.
All right.
I call it the quarantine magic trick. It's my new favorite opener.
That's great.
I was going to say that's very good.
And
speaking of openers,
to do, but we're not going to learn it right now.
Okay. Hey, so speaking of openers, you're all being recorded. My name is YWHA. I am the Director of Health and Wellness at the Center for Adults Living Well where am I? The YMHA of Washington Heights and Inwood. And I'm going to be taking this mask off. And I just want to welcome you all. I want to let you know you are being recorded so that every trick we learned today we can go through. And because Gary and I are discussing something special that we want you to be involved in, at the end of the month, we're talking about early June, we'd like to conduct our very first online magic show so that you all get very serious and very structured about how you're learning. And finally, I would like to tell you that Magic for All with Gary Dreifus, and Gary Dreifus is a man who needs no introduction except to everyone who doesn't know him. And
that's usually how that works, Ann.
I know, that's usually how that works, and especially in this instant. And if you like this program, please thank New York City Council member Adonis Rodriguez, because this program is sponsored by a generous discretionary arts grant. And with that, let me welcome officially virtual and real applause for Gary Dreifus of Coney Island, Brooklyn.
Thank you. And by the way, Mr. Rodriguez, we love you. Okay.
Yes, oh, we love you.
And it's good to see Judy back.
This is my aunt.
Even though it's not George.
Yeah, but you can't see me, right?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
You're getting a great
put a towel around you before you got out of the shower, Judy.
Okay. Went to the toilet.
It's nice to see your beautiful face. It's great to see all of you. Last week, we did a magic trick that I'm sure you all had problems with. Oh, by the way, Harold got to me. I'm surprised he's here because he didn't sleep last night.
Oh.
Well,
me at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Why didn't you sleep last night, Harold?
I was thinking about you.
Will I avert my eyes?
What do you think of Dan?
Please, he calls occasionally.
A gentleman caller? What?
Harold saw an online magic show,
Okay.
and he told me the wrong person, so I'm going through wondering who the heck performed it. And then he told me it was Eric Wilzig. Eric Wilzig was, when I first met him, he was a young kid going to the Five Towns Academy of Five Towns.
Okay.
Very orthodox kid. His assistant, cute girl, lived a block away from me. Very talented young man. And since then, his star's taken off. He was on America's Got Talent. He was all over the world. He was on a cruise ship for a year. He didn't escape from the box, Harold.
Yes.
That's what he was known for. He started this escape. Very talented young man and very personable. So to answer your question, Harold, yes, I know Eric Wilzig for about 10 years now. He did when he was a little kid. He performed at Coney Island. Now he's too big to perform at Coney Island. Oh, well. What we learned last week, and this one is tough. Norman, have you been working on it?
Yes, I have.
And did you get it?
Well, pretty good.
You want to demonstrate it?
Well, let me see if I'll do the first part because, I mean, I have the bag, but I don't quite know how to show it. So, let me see. Can you see this? Hello? Anybody?
Yeah, we
Yes.
see you shuffling.
Okay, good, good.
And then shuffling cards too.
Well, yes. So what I want you to do is now.
Yeah, okay. Because we can't see the cards right now. Good.
Yep. All right. Trying to get it.
Good.
So, no, let me try again. How about that? Yeah. Okay. Now, as I spread the cards out like this,
Right.
Helene, if you would be kind enough to just say stop at any time.
Stop there, right there.
Right there. Right.
Yeah,
Right there.
right there.
All right.
Yes.
Good.
Exactly.
All right. Now, so I suppose I'm going to see this card anyway, but all right. So that's your card. You got
Yes,
it?
absolutely.
Okay, great. All right. Now, all right. Where's my bag? All right. I'm going to take your average paper bag and I'm going to dump the cards. Can you see this? Dumping the cards.
Yeah.
Dumping the cards in the bag. And I have, I swear I have. All right. And I have, can you see that I have,
Paper clips.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
paper clips.
So I'm tossing the paper clips into the bag. And now, a little shaker. And I would be laying this out on a table, but I don't have the room to do that. So I'm just going to take the cards out. I've got the cards. And let's see just what we can find. And wait a minute. There's one that has a paper clip on it.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, it is mine. Yes.
Hey, okay.
Bravo.
Norman,
Yes.
quarantine agrees with you.
No, it doesn't, Gary. Why are you here? Do we get, let's see, Gary, bad jokes, boredom to learn magic?
What happened to all of the above? And
Yeah, really. Well, I
It's
checked them.
magic. It disappeared.
So,
I'm
and
going to check them all. That's all. That's great.
all right. So you see, Gary, your teaching is not in vain. Well, it's in vain,
In Brooklyn.
but
That was great, Norman. Really, I'm very proud of
Yeah,
you.
very good.
thank you.
Okay, to do this trick, you need a paper bag.
Right.
Is this a different trick?
No, I'm going to teach it. These people never saw it,
Oh,
except Harold. Harold, have you worked on it?
No.
Okay. And this is a little tough. Really. Really, I get 67%, but bad jokes gets 100%.
67.
This is really a little tough to do. I'm the first to admit it. You take a deck of cards, you take the bottom card, and it doesn't matter what it is, and you place a paper clip on it. And you're going to do a card force that I had never taught before. It's a tough force. For the newer people, when you are forcing, a card force is forcing a person to take a specific card. And I want the people to choose that card with the paper clip on it. So now we have a deck of cards. I can do what's called a false shuffle. And then I am going to spread out the cards and tell you to say stop. And at some point, I'm going to grab that bottom card with the paper clip and hold it underneath. So you all see that? I'm spreading the card, but this card, the force card, is underneath. So when they say stop, I lift off everything, including that bottom card. And I straighten it up, and I show the card, covering the paper clip with my fingers. Then I throw that on top of the rest of the pack, and I throw it into the bag. And then I grab a couple of paper clips and throw them in the bag, and I shake it. Under normal circumstances, I would have the volunteer take the cards out, find the card with the paper clip, show there's a paper clip on one card, and show that's the card. So the force itself isn't done with the paper clip. We're doing it with the paper clip. So the force is the bottom card, moving these cards over and grabbing this and holding that with the pile that are moving over. When the person says stop, I show that card. Does everybody understand that? This takes a little practice. I'm telling you, you're not going to get it just saying, oh yeah, it's not easy. It's not an easy trick to do. Okay, so we'll get back to that. We'll go through it a few times. Norman, I am so proud of you. This was really a tough one to do, and you got it. You nailed it. Have you done it for anybody?
The mirror.
Oh, and was it surprised?
It fell off the wall.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we're going to go now to the quarantine magic trick. And this one, you need...
The mask?
The best is if you have spare cards lying around. So what I do is I decide on a force card. In this case, it was the 5 of spades. And I put it in a mask. Then I have a deck of cards, and my top card, I will show you. It's actually a 5 of spades, and at the back, I have double-sided tape, and it's the Queen of Diamonds. So if I go like this, you see the 5 of spades, and then when I add it to the rest of the cards, it's gone. It melts into the rest of the deck. Now, how do I know which one is my force card? Let's see if you can see that. Do you all see there's a black dot on right over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The other cards don't have it. That's just, number one, it tells me which is the card that I've gimmicked. And number two, it tells me which way I have to hold the deck. So it's on top of the deck. I was doing a couple of false shuffles the other way. I turned the deck over and I looked for my mark. Now, I bevel the cards a little bit. Beveled a little bit. And then I lift up the top card and I can turn away because I know that you're seeing that force card. Then I lose it in the middle of the deck. And now I can show every card and that card is gone. In fact, I have handed this out and people don't even realize that the card, it just doesn't show. And it feels like a regular card. You can't feel it, but there it is at the top. So then, when they see that there's only 51 cards, their card is gone, I take off the mask and I show that it's in the mask. It has gotten a tremendous response.
That's great.
There are two things you have to learn to do this trick. Number one is how to gimmick the cards. And for that, you need an extra card that matches the deck. So I will show you. In this case, I'm going to force the Queen of Diamonds, and I take an indifferent card, any card, and I lay them. Let me. There we go. There, okay. So I have the Queen of Diamonds, which is going to be my force card.
Right.
And I have an indifferent card, any card. If you're going to force a red card, your indifferent card should probably be a black card. If you're going to force a court card, then the indifferent card should be a number card. That's all. It doesn't have to be. Then I go to the Magician's Friend, double-sided tape. Now you can use glue. A glue stick works fine, but I tend to like double-sided tape because if you want to change your mind, you can. You take a small tip, small piece of tape, you put it at the very bottom of the indifferent card. So there's the tape on the bottom of the indifferent card. And then I take the queen and I line it up and I push the hell out of it.
Right.
And there's my force card.
If you're marking the red deck, red is, there's shading on all kinds of red. I mean, how do you mask the red so it doesn't go red?
Okay, good question, Jim. Very good question. And I'll tell you, you're not going to like the answer.
You use a yellow card. No. What?
I will use the same Sharpie. And I will just, I'll tell you, I'll just touch. Now, knowing it's there, that stands out like a sore thumb, right?
Right.
If you don't know it's there, you'll never see it. And that's the beauty of doing these tricks. So now I add this to the red deck.
Right.
It's on top, and then I have to test it a couple of times just to make sure. Why the heck is there a joke on there? Okay.
Oh, no. You're doing a Batman trick?
So I just want to check that when I lift it up, because otherwise I'll have to reposition it.
Right. I see the
Okay, so there it is. I know that works. So now the next thing, so now the deck is ready. Now the next thing you have to learn is how to force the card. Let me get rid of the table because we don't need that now. And this is, I've taught this before. This is called the riffle force. There are a million types of ways to force a card. This one is the one that I used for years. Takes a little practice, not very hard. What you do is you riffle down the cards and you say stop at any time. And I like, what happens is I set people up. So I say, Anne, say stop at any time.
Stop.
Okay, but not everybody does that. So then I say, no, as I go through the cards, say stop.
Stop.
You gotta be faster, Anne. And then I go like this, and it's normal. It's human nature to say stop, and I say, I didn't do anything. Now, this sets people up because you just did it 3 times. You kept going through the cards 3 times. Then you say stop, and they say stop, and you say, I didn't do anything. And then you slowly go through it. And they'll say stop. Now watch what I do. These fingers come around and hold the top of the deck. Then I grab them from the sides and I slide the cards off. Did you all see that? Do it again. I see the card that has it. I know that that's the double card, what we call in Magic the flipper card.
Ooh.
Ow, ow, ow. Oh, that was flipper never mind.
Oh.
They call her flipper.
I'm just looking at my Ann. I think she's knitting.
I am. I'm learning a lot.
Loving the ceiling. I think the ceiling looks great.
Judy, just
But you're lying on
me
the
so we know you're okay.
I'm learning how to.
All right, so I go through it. I riffle the cards. When they say stop, I reposition my fingers so they're on top of the deck, and then I just slide the rest up, and this falls onto the deck, and I put these underneath. So that card is still on top of the deck. I'll do it one more time. Riffle, say stop, stop. I reposition my fingers. They hold on tight, and I slide the rest of the deck up. There's the force card. That adds on here, and there's the card. So now this is what it looks like, which is very natural. Say stop, stop.
Right.
And you have to practice that. It doesn't come naturally.
Do you ever shave the bottom card just to
Did
give
I
you?
ever shave it? Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? When you have
It's called shorting a card, Jim.
Okay. All right.
As opposed to shorting Norman because I owed him money.
Gary, are you pulling the top card with your fingers from?
I'm holding the top card with the 4 fingers.
Right, like this.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Now, don't try it if your hand's filled with olive oil. Won't work.
Now you tell me.
And Popeye will get pissed.
It's a card salad.
Never mind. I'm sorry. It was the bad jokes question, Ann. It's your fault.
It's an a la carte style.
Nobody's grandkids are here. Nobody's grandkids are here. It's okay.
Okay, one more time. So we riffle. I reposition the fingers. I slide this up, put those at the bottom, and there's the force card. I'm telling you, for about 40 years, this was my favorite force. I have changed that since then. I like the Hindu force better. We can go over that next
Oh,
week.
is that where it comes up through the yeah?
Jim, you seem to know a little bit about magic.
Yeah, Penn and Teller. I've watched a lot of those close videos, the close-up artisans, because I think those guys are the most skilled. You know what I mean?
I'm going to invite you every Saturday we have a magic show called the Virtual Interactive Magic Show. It's at 1 o'clock. We have, Eric Q is going to be the featured performer this week. If you haven't seen Eric, very talented young man from Shanghai. And he was a big shot in China, came to the United States, was a little shot in the United States, and he has taken over. He is going to be a name you're going to hear about in the future. I'm pushing him. He used to perform with his wife, Lisa, lovely young lady, and he wanted to go off on his own, and I said, no, you got to do it with me. So they're putting together an act again. But he's very talented.
I thought you were going to say he made her disappear. No, sorry.
Jim, I'm from Brooklyn. For the right price,
I was born in Brooklyn, so you know. Hey.
And they get found in a car trunk in Canarsie, but that's something else. Also, it's Omar Illusion, Roger Quant Rogue.
Oh, he's
He was
great.
on America's Got Talent.
He's great.
Yeah, and he's been working on. We're all. I'll tell you. I'll be honest. We're all in a bit of a problem. All our professional careers, we always wanted people from the audience to help us, and the more people that we used, the better it was. All of a sudden, we found ourselves with virtual audiences, and I mean, you all know how crappy my setup was. That luckily I got the webcam finally came in, so you can actually see me and hear me. Anne's laughing. We used to have meetings, and I would just freeze or disappear in the middle of them.
Oh, I love them. I almost missed those, Gary, because you were so funny.
That's real magic.
Well, it was real magic when I was able to come back, Helene. Sometimes I didn't. Who else is going to be performing? I don't even know this week. Omar, Roger. Oh, Lee Allen Barrett, who's a stand-up comic.
He's great.
Yeah, I
Good.
think Rich Kamada, but I'm not sure. But if you go on Facebook, if you friend me or ask Ann for my email address, I'll give it no problem, and then I can forward you all the information. We don't put out the Zoom link until an hour or two before the show.
That makes sense.
Because
That makes sense. Yeah.
There's
we
children.
get a lot of people there. We get a lot
Yeah.
of people there, and it's families, and we don't have any Zoom bombs.
Right. That's why I was surprised I'm glad there's no password on this. If you add a password, that'll
Well,
load.
I don't care if someone runs around in their underwear here. Lord knows I haven't worn pants in weeks, so it's not a problem.
Magically disappeared, right?
No, but with the family show, he's a
No,
little,
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
he's a little concerned, and I get it. All right, so
You having a flash over there? What's going on?
so we're going to start next week with this. So if you can put together that flipper card, then we'll be able to start from there.
Okay.
Okay, and you know the riffle shuffle. I think I have something written about the riffle shuffle. I'll have to check. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, we've been doing every week a bar bit. And this week is no different. So.
Hold on. If you're going to do a bar bit, you need to set up the bar.
Well, no, I have the drinks right here.
It's 11:02.
I'm ready for later.
Have a shooter.
We also, when this all started and Purell was gone and we needed disinfectant, There is a place in Brooklyn called the King County Distillery, and they make a very nice bourbon. They make a gin. They're located in the Navy Yard, and they started very early. I think they were the first ones that charge $1 just to cover the bottle.
Sure.
And they will sell you a bottle. It's in a 5th container. I think I have one here. Yep. And that's actually disinfecting.
That's smart.
You know that vodka does the trick. You don't need vodka, pure vodka does the trick.
Well,
It's
this is
disinfectant.
80% ethyl alcohol.
Yeah.
The only thing is they sell their gin in the same container, so you have to be very careful. I leave one bottle in the car.
Well, I'm sure
And
the
I
cops will
spray
do
every
that.
time we go out, we go shopping, I spray, and the car reeks.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And I always said, if a cop pulls me over, you guys won't see me for a couple of weeks. All right, so the bar bet. $1 bill. You bet anybody that they cannot fold a dollar bill 8 times. The bet is you cannot fold a dollar bill 8 times. And I want you to try it. Fold it. There's once, twice, 3, 4, 5. That's the most I've ever gotten. Six. I got 6. I got 6. I got 6. Go do 8. It's impossible. It really is. Yeah. How many times is that, Jim?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
No.
You
Folding the bill.
gotta
Well,
fold it
okay.
all the way? You can't, okay. Didn't say how to fold it. It is-
Yeah, well, okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. That's
No, that's fine.
That's
no
the
problem.
fool
But
in the audience,
You
right?
cannot fold paper in general more than 8 times. Now, there was a TV show that wanted to debunk all this stuff, and they were able to find a half sheet of paper and very large, that way they were able to fold 9 times. But for the most part, you cannot, especially if you pick a bill. This is the first time I got 6 out of it. All right, one more trick.
Very good.
Wait.
And so what? How
what?
do you fold it 8 times?
You cannot. That's the bet. I bet you cannot fold it 8 times.
Oh.
You're going to do it.
That's a trick?
No, that was a bar bet.
He makes the other guy's money disappear. That's the trick.
I have one more.
Uh-oh.
Does anybody have a coin?
Coin. Yes.
Okay, don't show it to me.
I don't have it yet. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
What denomination is it?
Presbyterian.
30.
It's a quarter?
I'm sorry. That's a
No, it's
bad
a 30. It's a quarter. Yes, it's a quarter.
Quarter. Okay. I want you to look at the date. Don't let anybody else see it. I bet you a drink.
Yeah.
I can tell you the date.
Okay.
Are we on?
Yes. I'll give you a glass of water anytime.
It's May 6th.
May 6th is
It's
today's.
today's date.
He comes complete with rim shot in the pocket, too.
We bet that I would tell you the date.
You know,
That's what a bar bet is.
there was a reason I stopped going into bars, and it had to get into a lot of fights. But well, anyway, all right.
This is one of the ones that I happen to like.
Right.
My favorite is the one with the drinking with the hat, and I'll show you that next week again, but I've shown that so many times. And this is my second favorite. I love it. I
Why?
bet you have and you build it up. You have a coin, look at the date, don't let anybody else see it. I bet you a drink, or I bet you a buck, or whatever you want to bet, that I can tell you the date. And they'll say, okay. And your answer is today's date.
That's impressive. So I hear
Thank
that
you.
quarantine dating on Zoom is now a thing. This would be something that you could, I mean, I'm sure, you know, I'm not suggesting, I know many of you are happily married, but.
In other words, are you telling us something personal, Ann?
No, nothing at all.
Don't go there. I figure we haven't killed each other yet. We're ahead of the game.
How long have you been married, Gary? How long have you been married?
Oh, geez. 42 years.
42 years?
That's his wife behind the curtain. Your wife is behind the curtain.
Normally, what I would say, except she's sitting right here.
Right.
Normally, I would say we're married 42 years. It's 3 of the happiest years of my life.
Yeah, we
But
just.
I would never say that because Vicky's sitting right here.
Hello, Vicky.
We just celebrated our 40th. So, yeah.
Wow.
40, yeah.
Look, she's put up with a magician, with Santa Claus.
He's the Nordstrom Santa.
Oh, he is. Where? On Broadway or where?
The new Nordstrom's, well, what was
Is
the
it,
new
is it
Nordstrom's?
right? Is it gonna open
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
next?
and the new one opened, and then
December?
it designer spritzes on that. That first floor is amazing. What was in there before that? Do you remember? Did they ever tell you what was in that building before they opened it? Nordstrom.
What? It's
The
a
what-
beautiful store.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I know.
And hopefully they're going to be right up there again. And they had already offered me Santa. That's why I started.
That's very
doing
good.
it again.
So what kind of when there's a fair question because I've never understood how many what kind of schedule do you run as Santa, and how many cousins do you have next to you, or are you the lone ranger?
We only have one on the floor at a time.
Right.
It was 6 to 8 hours depending on what was going on. Sometimes we had a breakfast for Santa. Sometimes Nordstrom had 2 parades down the escalators per day with a Dixieland band escorting them.
Wow, pretty good.
Yeah, it was wonderful. But only one Santa on the floor at a time.
Sure.
And there were 2 a day. We rotated. We had 4 Santas total, as opposed to Macy's, which we'll learn about next week. How was that for a segue, Ann?
And reminding everybody here that what goes on, get close here, what goes on with Magic with Gary Dreifus stays here with Magic with Gary Dreifus.
Even though you recorded it, right? You're gonna.
That's right.
You just streaming it later for a fee.
How many? No bleeps for you, right?
Macy's has, I believe, it's 13 Santas at the floor at a time.
I always heard that there were 8 booths because of the floor space thing, you know, and that it was like you worked like an hour and a half on, an hour and a half off, whatever it was.
I don't know.
To avoid burnout.
They hired me and I didn't accept the job. I took the job.
Listen, congratulations. Speaking of Santa, what's the craziest request you've had while you're sitting in a chair from somebody coming in to Santa?
I'll tell you exactly. I had every year I did this magic show for a Santa visit on Christmas Eve for a very wealthy family in Mill Basin, which is a very ritzy area in Brooklyn.
Sure.
Beautiful mansion, and they had one aunt who would always drink a little too much. And she had this Santa fetish, and she would hit on me every year. And you know, it was like, get this woman off my lap. This year, she didn't have enough to drink. And I got there, wait a minute. The family had purchased a bottle of holy water from Jordan. And she drank the holy water thinking it was vodka.
And then she propositioned you.
No, she was out. She was gone. She disappeared. They said she was passed out in one of the other rooms. But they told me what they spent on this holy water. This woman drank $500 worth of holy water from the Holy Land.
Yeah.
I personally would have just gone to the spigot, put more water in, no one would have known the difference. But
And why do you think they didn't do that?
no, they didn't. They were very upset with him.
I'm gonna be
Anyway,
thinking
that
of this
was number
story.
one. Number two, this year I was doing at Nordstrom, and we did a breakfast for these families. And the vice president of Nordstrom, of the Northeast area, had his kids there. And one of his kids asked me for a villa in Jamaica. And I said, get on the A train, get off at the last stop, and tell me which villa you want.
Thank you. That's amazing.
And his father, I became his favorite Santa because of that answer. That's all. Anyway, that's it for today, people. It is so great seeing you. Love you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Can we
you.
get a
You
picture?
fit right in.
Can we
Yeah,
get a picture? Can we get a
Why?
picture?
Yeah,
If you
let's get a
want
Go
picture.
ahead.
Let's do a picture. Okay, hold on.
Wait a minute. I gotta get
With or without?
great.
It's your decision. I'm jealous of your mask there, Helene. That's a beautiful mask. I like my
Jealous of
David
your
Dad one. Okay, we're gonna get in
Cyclone
close.
hat.
Suck it in. Suck it in, everybody. Ooh, I like the Mickey Mouse. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
I gotta use this guy. I love this guy.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot. I'm ready.
Oh, too late, Norman.
Save it for next week.
Save it for
That's
next
right.
week.
Bye.
And goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
I will be emailing you
Oh.
the video.
Stay
Oh,
safe.
Judy. Look at
Stay
Judy.
healthy. See you
Pretty
again
good.
next week. Be well.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Bye,
Gary.
everybody.
You too.
Good. Bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
Bye,
Harold,
Judy. You
get
look
some
good.
sleep.
I hope so. Thank you.
You look good, Judy. Oh, wait, hold
That's a
on.
nice mask.
Yeah, she's good. She's a good sewer. Hold on, Judy. I can't.
And
Judy, I
now,
like it.
Did Diane make you one?
No.
Okay.
Bye, Judy. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
bye,
Bye.
Judy.
Bye. You guys are good.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hold
Well,
on a minute. I'm going to stop recording, Gare.